Hi there, welcome to This Must Be Talking Heads. I'm Rodney, the world's best and only Talking Heads historiologist, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 3 songs from David Byrne's new album, Who Is This Guy? I'm going to do a podcast with full insights and clips and research and the usual quality that I put into all my episodes, but that'll be down the line when I come to this album in the future. I've obviously been living with the album for about 4 or 5 days now. I've got the album right here. Just kidding. Of course I don't, because I'm never buying through Bandcamp again. Why do I not have the album on launch day? You had months to work this out. Anyway, hopefully I'll have it in my hands very soon, but I have been streaming it kind of nonstop ever since it launched, and I got lucky because I'm in Australia. I live in the future. It came out midnight Thursday night my time, which was Wednesday, some parts of the world. So I feel very lucky that I got my hands on it when I did. And that said, like you, I've been streaming it kind of nonstop. And then once you finish listening to the album, you have to go, well, what do I want to do now? Do I want to re-listen to it from the start? Do I want to go back to that song? And if so, which song? So I guess part of what's going to inform this is the songs that I've been thinking about the most, have reflected on the most, and liked the most, the ones that have grown on me the most, and so on. Coming in at number 3, the first single, Everybody Laughs. I think this is still a big banger. I think it's a huge crowd pleaser. I think it'll get a big roar when he plays it live at all the live shows, which are kicking off really soon. So we'll find out which of my tour predictions were correct. There's a reason why it was chosen to be the kickoff single. David's obviously very happy with it. They made a music video for it, a proper one. Now that we've heard the rest of the singles, now that we've heard the rest of the album, we're coming up into the tour. I think this song, Everybody Laughs, is just going to be the one that endures the longest and people will remember the most and put on playlists and so on. It's going to be the one that when we look back in 10 years' time, we'll say that was that big song from that album that everybody loved. The song also really sets the scene for a lot of other themes that emerge as the album rolls out. Themes like universality, community, common experience, odd things that we struggle with, and also broadly just sort of a joyous kind of celebration of our life, of the people that we love and the people we surround ourselves with, the things that make us happy. A lot of the themes that just roll out through the rest of the album are touched on right here, right from the top. It's also a little bit odd to have one of the big kickoff singles be song number 1 on a David Byrne album. That's actually not very common. I've already talked a little bit about Everybody Laughs in other videos. So let's move on to song number 2, my number 2 top song from the first listen through. And that is, of course, Don't Be Like That. This is a fun little song. It really stands out a little bit when you listen through the first time. Like everybody, after listening to it for 10 seconds, everybody goes, it's like George Michael Faith. I get it. Yep, absolutely. It's a little bit like George Michael Faith. That song came out a long ass time ago. It's okay to riff on a song like that. The song is ancient history now. No one really remembers it other than old fogies like me. There's really just a lot of charm to this song. It really achieves a lot. And it really, for me, paints a pretty vivid picture, which is what I always appreciate. And obviously we know David got engaged and now he's married. And whether this is a real scene or a fictional scene or an embellishment, I don't know. But I mean, the vision that it brings to mind for me is David being mad at his fiance and then her sort of being all coquettish and being like, you're not really mad. Stop playing as if you're mad. You can't stay mad at me, in a very playful and loving way. And then David reciprocating and her winning him over. So essentially all of the lines about don't say that, don't be like this, and then turning that into don't wear nice clothes, don't smell really good, don't do little dances. The second verse in particular just kills me. It just wins me over every time because it's so sweet. And I can't listen to it and not smile and just feel good. And that is why it's the number 2 song that's been growing on me ever since this album came out. If you've been holding your breath this long waiting to see what my number 1 song is, please inhale and exhale. Breathing is important. I'm going to round this video out by revealing that my number 1 song from this album after many repeated listenings is What Is the Reason for It? Amazingly, this song was the 4th single that came out from this album before it even launched, so I don't know if we'll get any more. The music plods along and then it launches into this amazing chorus and then it drops back down into the verse without breaking stride, and it just has such dynamics. It's such a cool idea, such a cool topic, executed so well. A love song that's not really even about love. The arrangement that Matt Border from Ghost Train Orchestra did on the song is amazing. I messaged him personally to say how much I liked it. It's also the song that Hayley Williams sings on, which I forget whether St. Vincent was supposed to sing on this song. David gave an interview where he said St. Vincent was supposed to come and sing on a song, and then on the day that we were going to do it, she couldn't make it and she just didn't do that. And it would draw a lot of interest for that reason. It was also when I did my tour predictions video, one of the songs that I said, yeah, they're not going to play that live because Hayley Williams won't be touring. But it seems, given the show that they did at Rough Trade, it seems they're going to be playing this. One of the members of the ensemble will be taking over the female vocal part, so they're going to be playing this live, which means my prediction was dead wrong. But oh well, that happens sometimes. Now, I did see some people putting a bit of a slam on this song by saying, hey, this music video, it uses AI. It turns David's little drawings into little animations. and it uses AI. And I heard people say, I will not listen to this album and I'm canceling David Byrne because of this. I just want to say to those people, like, I get it. I understand all of the problems with AI. I think that it needs to be made a lot better. It needs to be made a lot better very, very soon. Unfortunately, I think AI is here to stay in some form or another. Hopefully we can keep pushing for improvements, especially for artists who are having their work stolen without any accreditation or compensation. And I would also understand people who say, I don't endorse AI and I'm not going to watch that music video, which that's okay, that's fine. Sometimes the equation becomes, make the point you want to make, but do you really want to deny yourself the things that you love and are interested in? And for me, most of the time, I'm more interested in just following the things that I'm curious and passionate about, because one of the themes of the album is about doing that. So I kind of think it's okay if you want to like the album and like the song and separate that from how you feel about the music video. That might not be a perfect answer, but that's all I've got. So that's my top 3 songs that I loved from the David Byrne album, Who is the Sky? Hopefully you've got your copy or you've been streaming it like I have. I do want to throw in one honorable mention, which is the Apple Music exclusive bonus track, which is called Def Con. I understand that if you've got the CD or you've been streaming it or you've got the vinyl or you don't use Apple Music, that you might not have heard this song. But if you have the opportunity to check it out, I would check it out. And it's really interesting that it's a bonus song and that it's at the end of the album, because it really leaves you on a bit of a different tone, a bit of a different feeling. It does feel a little bit like an experiment. It does feel a little bit like a demo, as if Professor Byrne has been mucking around in his musical laboratory. It feels a little bit like an experiment that maybe wasn't finished, or was maybe to generate some sounds that were used to texture some of the other songs on the album. I find it a really interesting, fascinating, it's only 1 minute and 16 seconds, but it's just a really interesting taste of something completely different. Because it is so different, I would kind of almost like a EP or an album of just music like that. I would totally listen to that. Definitely bleeps and bloops and sends things out in different directions, but it just makes my brain light up in ways that I just find interesting and exciting, because I'm weird like that, I guess. Anyway, now that you've had a listen through the album a few times, let me know your favorite songs. Did you like any of the ones that I like? Do you have other favorites? If so, what do you like about them? I want to know about it. Please feel free to let me know. Send me a message, send me an email, reach out, join the Discord, do whatever you want to do. But I am really just so glad to have this album in my life. I feel like my enjoyment of the world is a little bit better for having it in it. I'm glad it's here. I'm thrilled with the result, and I know David is thrilled with the result too. It feels like a very personal, eclectic, organic album, and I can't wait to see him live in a few months. So that's all from me for now. Don't forget to check out the podcast recap and review of the album that I rush out. This will be a very rushed version, not the usual polished version. I apologize, but we're in a moment and I want to seize it. I have already had one go at this and it didn't go well. So look out for the podcast accompaniment to this video, and don't forget to check out the next video that we do. Till next time, I've been Rod. Happy listening. Catch you next time.